The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Today is Monday, October 25th, 2021. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Activists all around the country are putting their lives and their bodies on the line on behalf of justice, on behalf of this planet, and on behalf of liberation. Let's discuss that today. We begin with On the Clock with Georgia Ford.
We take a look at a case coming out of High Point, North Carolina, the case of Fred Cox, who was killed almost a year ago when he was attending a funeral. Out of all things, he was at a church and all of a sudden he heard gunfire, and he tried to protect a 12-year-old boy along with his mother by getting them safely back inside of the church when he himself was grazed with bullets. He was shot at least 3 times in his neck, his back, his shoulder, his thigh. And there has been a lot of investigation done by the SBI, as well as the local county who participated. But there's some conflicting reports about evidence. Ultimately, what we've learned is that no charges have been brought forth in this case. I had the opportunity to speak with his grandmother when I was in D.C. Take a look.
We also understand quite clearly
able did not find this murderer guilty in High Point, North Carolina.
He was at a funeral on November the 8th, and there was a shooting on one side of the church, and there was another shooting, which the other shooting was Officer Hill, and he shot him 5 times. The back, the side, and the leg. And in the midst of him shooting Frederick, he saved 2 people's life. 2 people. He pushing these 2 people in the church while this officer gunned him down like he wasn't a human being. And they wasn't shooting on that side of the church. And he has 2 children. That police officer took my baby/grandma life for nothing. No drugs, no gun, no nothing, no game. He was innocent. And they allow him to kill him and say he's not guilty. How can the system fail us like that?
Tanika Shannon, the mother of Fred Cox.
On Sunday, November 8th, 2020, my only child, Fred Cox, was murdered in a church by an undercover detective as he ran out of his car to save a mother and her son from gunfire that ignited on the opposite side of the church.
You know, and as you hear the story, I know there's a lot of questions that may come up, right? Why was there gunfire happening at the church in the first place? According to reports, apparently it was a gang that was responding to the person whose funeral Fred was attending. And then also, why was a deputy there shooting? What I've learned in researching this case is that apparently the deputy was there undercover. And so when you think about a deputy being there undercover and innocent people being caught in gunfire and no charges being brought up, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it quite adds up, Ben.
Yes, Georgia, this case, I first found out about this case while with Roland Martin. He was speaking to the mother as well, and to hear the pain, you know, it's a mixture of pride I can hear, but also clearly the pain, because their son and their grandson, Frederick, he jumped and leaped into action and literally saved the lives of two people, sacrificing his own life. And you could just hear it there. To understand the cause of his death has got to be the insult to injury when you consider that it was so unnecessary because of where it took place, how it took place, and the fact that it was an undercover police officer who should have had better training, the ability to ascertain the situation versus create the situation where he ended up taking a life, and then no justice on top of it. Georgia, enough is enough.
Well, and from a media standpoint, I always look at the narratives that were put out. It's almost been a year.
Mm.
And initially, there were accusations that Fred had a gun. And if you go back and you look at the investigation that was done by the SBI, they determined he did not have a gun. And so it is a very there's a huge contrast in narrative when you look on one side and there's these accusations that he had a gun and he was shooting back versus Fred Cox was a hero who saved the life of a 12-year-old boy and his mother.
That's right.
You're painting two very different pictures.
That's right.
One that evokes empathy and compassion, one that is the story of a hero, and the other that's the story that we always see that allows for a grand jury to produce no indictment against the officer. Because it paints a picture as though maybe he was responsible for what happened to him, that he deserved what happened to him, that what happened to him was justified. But nowhere in that narrative and what was portrayed to the grand jury resembled anything that really counted to the fact that he helped save not only a 12-year-old boy's life, but also the life of that boy's mother.
That's right. That's right. And Georgia, it's so many times that they have to, and they being this system of criminal justice, if we want to call it that, this injustice system has perfected the art of vilifying the victims, especially when we're Black, and precisely when we're Black men. They're so used to doing this. They're used to getting away with it because there's a level of dehumanization that has to accompany Black lives for the police to be able to continuously to get away with this. That's just the bottom line. Because if America for a moment has an epiphany of empathy and to actually see us as human beings, well, then that breaks through the hermetically sealed bubble of this dehumanization that Black people have been living under in this country for a very long time.
Well, Ben, I know that you've been tracking a story this morning as well.
Yeah, we're following Joe Biden and this fight against the filibuster, or the fight that may be coming with the filibuster. Joe Biden did a town hall last week, and he gave the impression that he's going to take a different approach with the filibuster, hinting towards the fact that he may be willing to actually undo it. Now, everyone who's following this on the political level, you understand that the filibuster is being used as an impediment to voting rights. It's being used as an impediment to this infrastructure bill. It's being used as an impediment to literally everything that's a part of Joe Biden's agenda. And so we have been screaming at the top of our lungs, rhetorically speaking, when are you going to do away with the filibuster? Let's take a listen to Joe Biden at last week's town hall.
When it comes to voting rights
is equally as consequential.
When it comes to voting rights, just so I'm clear, though, you would entertain the notion of doing away with the filibuster on that one issue. Is that correct?
And maybe more.
And maybe other issues.
Now, it's the and maybe more. We need him to do more than make a consideration, because when we consider the Republican opposition to literally everything, there's nothing that the Republicans are going to stand in solidarity or in bipartisanship with the Democrats on, as evidenced by this next clip. Georgia, you've been following this along with us. Joe Manchin is standing in the way of the Democratic Party. He is a Democrat, ostensibly, who's standing against the Democratic agenda in the form of Joe Biden's agenda. That said, Joe Manchin is considered to be too compromising for Republicans. And so when we have this conversation about bipartisanship, and we have this conversation about, can we get 10 Republicans to come over so that we don't have to do away with the filibuster? I want America to really understand that even Joe Manchin, who is the bane of our existence, who is for all intents and purposes a turncoat and a Republican, he is too radical for Republicans. Let's take a listen into this clip.
Actually had talked to Joe Manchin about some of the ballot protection issues, yet the Joe Manchin compromise was trying to get to the floor. Democrats were blocked by a filibuster of Republicans, not even letting it get to the floor. How do you feel about voting rights? You supported reenacting the voting rights bill when you were a House member in 2006.
And I would again extend the voting rights bill. The voting rights bill hasn't been repealed. The 14th and 15th Amendment haven't been repealed.
Yeah, but the Supreme Court decision in 2013 basically gutted it.
You know, I was both a local election official and the chief election official for our state for a combined total of about 20 years. There are 10,000 election jurisdictions out there in America. The federal government deciding how elections should be run in all 10,000 of those jurisdictions is a bad idea. And I don't think Senator Manchin was surely fully on board with the supposed compromise. It was a compromise between the left and the far left. You still had a matching funding of $6 for every dollar raised for House members. I like Joe Manchin, but I'm not driven by the Joe Manchin standard of whether something's a good deal or not. This was clearly a federal takeover of elections. It was not doing things around the edges of elections that direct the country in a more significant way, and I'm opposed to it. There's no right way to do the wrong thing, and federal government taking over elections is the wrong thing to do.
Now, that was Senator Roy Blunt making it clear that when we get to the bottom line, we're not talking about the infrastructure, Georgia. We're not talking about the budget. We're not talking about reconciliation. We're talking about the very fundamental tenet of being able to vote in this democracy. Republican Senator Roy Blunt is making it clear that they are not willing to compromise even with Joe Manchin. And Joe Manchin has made it clear that he's not willing to compromise with the Democrats because he wants to be bipartisan with Republicans. So we have a little quandary here, don't we? Republicans have shown that they are completely refusing to do anything that's good for humanity. And Joe Manchin is saying, well, I'm going to wait for Republicans to come to their senses. And then we have Joe Biden saying we're going to wait for Joe Manchin to come to his senses. The absurdity of it all, Georgia. But I give it to you to take a look at it.
You know, I mean, at this point, we have talked so much about cinema and Manchin and the filibuster. You know, if Biden can't, cancel the filibuster, if he can't get that outlawed, we need to really start looking at how do we fill those seats. Because at this point, we need solutions and we need them fast. The vote for the Black community is under attack. And we have seen a digression of our voting rights. We've seen suppression of our voting rights. And so, I mean, they're not going to cooperate. They've shown that over and over again. And the more time that passes without any intervention or without Biden stepping up to the plate and actually doing something, the more time that passes, I feel like the more rights we are giving up.
Exactly.
And so at this point, I just feel like there has to be some galvanizing and organizing to position new individuals to take their seats. I mean, at some point, there has to be a strategy and solution to move forward, because I feel like we're at a stalemate.
No, that's absolutely where we are. And it's a little bit worse. It is a stalemate, but it's a stalemate that benefits the conservative side of the equation.
Absolutely.
Republicans are getting what they want. Right. And then we have this stalemate because we can't move past the filibuster. Joe Biden, he said he's going to think about it. Well, I think it should be clear that if he wants to get anything done, and that's the real question, right? A lot of times we take a look at this season, the first 100 days and then the next 100 days leading up to the midterms, that kind of horse race comparison of a presidency. How good did Joe Biden do in his first 100 days? Well, at this point, we get the sneaky suspicion that they're trying to run out the clock and get to the midterm election when everyone is going to be in such a tizzy over whether or not who's going to get elected to this seat. No one is going to be focused on the fact that they went an entire 2 years and didn't deliver on behalf of Black people who delivered on behalf of Joe Biden.
And that's a shame. But this is the America that we live in. And so even when people aren't deliberately discriminating against us, you know, there's a quote that says justice delayed is
Mm,
justice denied. And
mm.
so you don't have to hate us or do anything to deliberately discriminate against us.
That's right.
But if you're standing in the way of the progress of people or just even the basic rights of people, this is our right as Americans. We have the right to get out and vote just like anybody else. And because we're not going to vote for you, you want to come up with some strategy to try to make it difficult for us to
Mm,
vote for somebody else.
that's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
at the end of the day, the democracy is supposed to be about the people electing who we want to represent us.
Hmm.
And that's not really what's happening. Not authentically, not organically are people getting into these seats because the people put them there. No,
Mm,
it's because there are politicians who are playing this game, who are coming up with a strategy
that's
so
right.
that they can win.
That's right. All around us, every aspect of it. We're getting ready to go into the redistricting, and we're going to see gerrymandering like we've never seen before because Republicans are all in. Now, listen, it's not just Republicans. Democrats do this too. They just don't do it as good as Republicans do it, right? They're not as cutthroat or Machiavellian as Republicans. And so this is a game that Democrats are decidedly not capable of playing. But yet and still, they engage in it, and they leave space for Republicans to do this because maybe one day in the future they're going to want to gerrymander a little bit better, or maybe in the future they'll use the filibuster to their advantage. But that's never the case. If you look at this, the ball is always moving decidedly towards the right, towards fascism. And Democrats are still standing by saying, well, maybe if we just hold on to the filibuster, maybe if we just hold on to all of these policies and all of this bipartisanship, maybe it'll work for us one day. How's that working out for you, Joe Biden?
Yeah, and how is that working out for you, America? Like, this game that they're playing is affecting the day-to-day lives of American citizens. And it's
Mm,
unfortunate that uh, political leaders who are elected to represent the people are so occupied playing a game that
yeah.
they're not serving the people who got them elected into the position that they hold.
Mm,
And it's funny, I think that in some degree, power is a social construct. And a lot of these political leaders, you see them that they're so drunk on their own power
that's right.
that they forget the true power is in the people. The
Mm,
people have the power.
mm.
And so they can continue to play these games and, put off passing equitable voting rights.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, if they don't want to see what happened in 2020, that global uprising, if they don't want to see that happen again, they don't want to see the people hit to the streets and take their power back.
Mm,
They have to start making some progress
yeah.
because if this system continues to prove that it cannot work for people who look like you and me, there will be another 2020
Mm.
sooner than what you think.
And the thing is, Georgia, to add on top of that is that without question, the results of these powerful politicians who are using that power to suppress the people, it inevitably hurts the people. Coming up in the 8:30 segment, we're going to be the Benjamin Dixon segment. We're going to be discussing what's happening in Wisconsin because they're at the point in Wisconsin where now they're extending the hours for labor from children.
Mm.
14-year-olds, extending it to midnight, where they're now going to be getting everything that they need out of. These are policies that hurt the people, and it's all because of powerful politicians trying to maintain that power. And it's oftentimes at the detriment of the very people who vote for these politicians. So we're going to be discussing that coming up in the next segment.
Before we move on, I just have to say that's absurd
Yeah,
that our country has demoralized itself to a place where we are willing to accept child labor
yeah.
as a means to fulfill our needs in our labor industry. But I digress.
Mm,
Um, Speaking of youth, there are 5 youth who have been participating in a hunger strike in DC, and it's all for climate justice. Take a
mm.
listen.
We also understand quite clearly that we are fossil fuel abolitionists in the spirit of abolitionists that have come before us, in the spirit of Sojourner Truth, in the spirit of Harriet Tubman, in the spirit of Frederick Douglass. I am sure that Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, and Frederick Douglass, if they were negotiating how to end slavery, they would not invite slave traders to the abolitionist movement, especially slave traders who are currently owning slaves. And so because you continue to work with the fossil fuel industry, it is outrageous that you think that we can believe what you are doing.
I'm State Representative Attica Scott, and I'm out here in front of the White House standing with hunger strikers who are demanding action on our climate from President Joe Biden.
My muscles are weak, and we know how much is at stake. I just asked John Kerry why the presidency isn't using their full powers to deliver on their climate justice promises, and he made excuses for Joe Biden. He said that there are complications in the Senate and that there's private sector money out there. I'm disappointed. I'm angry.
There's complications in the Senate. Private sector money is not going to save us. The American government is the most powerful institution in the world, and you all need to step up and take responsibility for this.
Joe Biden can and needs to be doing far more to get the full legislative federal climate policy that we need right now, and that he himself has promised us. Will he let Joe Manchin write his climate policy, or will he deliver?
So there we have, it started out as just 5 youth sitting in front of the White House demanding that President Joe Biden include some piece of legislation for climate justice in his Build Back Better initiative, right? And now those 5 youth who are participating in this hunger strike have been joined by different political leaders, as you saw, other young activists, as well as this is Reverend Yearwood here that you're taking a look at now. But it's all about climate justice. And when you see the oil spills, you see the wildfires, you see the icebergs melting, what they're asking for is some mitigation, some policies that would be put in place that would ensure that this planet will still be here by the time they have children.
That's right. That's right. And that's the determining factor for a lot of young people, whether or not they're going to have children. I mean, it's starting to seem irresponsible to bring children into a world that the leaders are, on a collision course with oblivion. I mean, we only have one planet. And no matter how much technology the billionaires and oligarchs try to throw into space, the fact is they won't survive there any longer than we'll survive here if we don't get some actual action. And Georgia, you said it a moment ago. You said that these policies, it's wasting time. And or the lack of policies or the games that they're playing, it's wasting time. And this is the most, I think this is the most meaningful example of how much time we don't have.
Yeah,
we got to act. And these kids are out here. They're absolutely right, because you think about it, like it's not just going to be climate disaster for the entire globe, which is bad enough. But we do know that climate justice matters because it's going to hurt us the most in the Black community and in marginalized communities.
that's right. That's right. Well, we are on the clock. Stick around for more on the Benjamin Dixon Show.
Good morning, everybody. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know the voice. Y'all know the sound. It's your boy, James Bubba Williams. DJ Exclusive is in the building, y'all. Good morning. Y'all get your tea, your coffee, whatever it is you need to get your morning started, y'all. More coming up next on the Benjamin Dixon Show. Good morning, everybody.
Everybody watch out. Watch out now. I'm ready for a good time, and I came to groove. The whole band's here, and we came to move. Got a fresh haircut and 2 new shoes. We're here all night like we got nothing to lose. I'm coming coming out the jacket cause we're turning up the heat. I wanna see you clapping when you get up out your seat. It's time to make it happen when we hit
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Tiger, what's going on? Anna Hart, Susan, Alexis, good morning, y'all. Brother Chuck Diesel, Roller Dragon, Luke Kane, good morning, y'all. Roosevelt Republicans, good morning. Tyler Hackman, what's going on, brother? D-So, good morning. Hollywood 2000, good morning. Good morning, everybody, y'all. Come on in. We got one coming up next. The Benjamin Dixon Show, Juanita, good morning. Monique, good morning. Lily, good morning to you. Church lady, good morning. Jeremiah, good morning. What's going on? Six Dragon Daddy, good morning, y'all. Afraid Not, good morning.
Everybody watch out. Last call for the Monster Hall. And don't forget to tip. The sun went down, but we're still rolling. The band's still going, playing all the hits.
Amber Layla, good morning to you.
I'm coming out the jacket cause we're turning up the heat. I wanna see you clapping when you get up out your seat. It's time to make it happen when we hit these streets. I'm coming in hot and I can't be beat. Watch out now. Everybody watch out. Watch out. Hey, baby. I'm on the move. I'm going
Miss Beast, good morning. What a dragon, I've thought about it, but it's so much.
It's gotta be against the law. Look this damn good. The baby, I feel real good.
Deb Benson, good morning, Deb. Sunny Wright, good morning to you. Air Hustler, what's going on? Good morning.
Everybody watch out. Everybody watch out. Watch out.
Alexis, for real, it does. Get my James Brown on this one. Let me just sit down.
Got an appetite, let's bake ourselves a treat. What you've been mixing, serve it up the way you please.
On and on it goes. Good morning to you. Promises manifested. Good morning, y'all.
So thick. Push up and butter me. Push that, shake that, smack that, mix that up, marinate that. We don't need a recipe.
Jennifer, good morning to you, Jennifer.
That cream.
Alicia, what's going on, sister? Good morning.
Me, baby, shade up. We can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me. With that cream, with that preheat this oven up like 5,000 degrees. It's almost ready, we've been craving.
Love you too, sister Alicia.
You want it, I got it. I'm hooked on you like phonics. Gotta be honest, you're on it, and this ain't no time to be modest. Poke that, push that, shake that, girl, take your last name, let's hyphenate that. We don't need a recipe. Whip that cream, baby, pour that sweet on me, baby, shade it. We can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me.
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got more coming up next from the Benjamin Dixon Show. Y'all, you don't want to miss it. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. And don't forget, Friday, it is going down. Patron party, y'all. Costume patron party. So make sure that y'all are in the building, y'all.
And that sweet on me. We can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me. With that cream, baby. Pour that sweet on me, baby. Shade out, just we can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me. With that cream, with that sweet.
Lily, that's funny.
Every day is just the beginning. Take it to the bank, now I'm winning. Call me crazy, tell me lies. It won't stop me, watch me rise. No more anchors holding me down. All I need is more. One more hour, one more minute.
All right, y'all, it's time for more Benjamin Dixon Show. Let's get back to it. So welcome back to the screen. My brother from another mother, Benjamin Dixon. Good morning, everybody.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Monday, October 25th, 2021, and I'm joined by as always, my brother from another mother, James, DJ Exclusive. How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good, Ben. How about yourself, sir?
Man, I'm doing good. I've got a story to tell, and you're going to be mad at me.
Oh, God. Here we go.
So I sent you the picture yesterday. I went down to Daytona, and I got the sauce. I got the good sauce from Bethune Girl. You know what, James? I didn't realize, I got real comfortable in Atlanta, and I'm in Jacksonville for a couple of days here while we get our next house set up and everything. But we just got a little layover here, a little vacation. Man, I carried myself down to the beach Friday night in my hoodie, down there meditating on the beach and just having a good time. I forgot that I was in the heart of Trump country. I forgot that as I'm down there just talking to myself, having a good time, doing a little freestyle, just having a good time. I'm out there freestyling. I end up doing some stuff about some Trump stuff. And lo and behold, some people overheard me. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm in enemy territory. I need to carry my butt back to the other side of town. And that's just the first half of what happened that night. The second half involves the police. I'll tell the rest of that. Patreon.com/The BPD Show. I'll give you guys the whole story in the after party. I know that's evil, but the best part, you got to be a patron for the best part. So anyway, man.
So you decided to go freestyling in Jacksonville.
I was just on the beach having a good time, man. I was just on the beach having a good time. I'm on vacation, kind of, you know what I mean? The beach is free. So I pulled up at the beach. It's nighttime. I'm just chilling. I'm just out there, mind my business, headphones in, not realizing, I had an audience, Doc.
Right, David.
I had an audience. I had talked about white supremacy and I had talked about all this. I turned around I said, Lord, let me get out of here. And then the cops pulled up. So it was a fascinating. And then on top of it, to boot, I had to do an interview. So in the middle of all this, I had to do an interview for a Chicago radio station. It was hilarious, but I still did a good job because, it doesn't matter if I'm asleep. It doesn't matter if I'm in the trenches. We get the work done. That said, the whole story is coming in the after party, patreon.com. Shout out to the guys at the radio station in Chicago who held it down while I was, ducking and dodging a couple of authorities. That said, let's get to the first story, man. I want to take us to something that's far more absurd than my weekend here in Jacksonville. Something happening over in Wisconsin that is really shows you guys that, man, if we're ever in what we consider to be late stage capitalism, it's right now. James, we're to the point where instead of giving people more wages, instead of increasing salaries in order to increase the workforce, right? You got all these jobs. I know you've seen it. Drive around town. There's signs on every drive-through. Thank you for your patience. We don't have enough labor, blah, 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 blah. Instead of paying people more in Wisconsin, they're trying to get a bill passed that would allow 14-year-olds to be able to stay out working till 11 o'clock and I believe 12 o'clock, which is right now against their state legislation. It's against the law for young people to work that late. So their solution, James, instead of offering, because there are people who want to work. Let's be clear. Like in this whole process of the pandemic, there's been all these questions about whether or not people want to work. People have been willing to work in the pandemic. Mm-hmm. They're just not willing to work in the pandemic for chump change. You're going to have to you got to pay people to come out here in this pandemic and do this quote unquote essential labor, right? On the flip side, instead of meeting people and saying, hey, we'll give you 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, we'll give you something that's a livable wage. They said instead, let's get the kids. Let's get the kids to go out here and work. That's what's being up for consideration in Wisconsin. And at this point, I'm not surprised by any of this.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember when I was younger, I couldn't wait till I turned 16 to get my little work permit, go work and make my little own money. But I know that I wasn't going to stay out past 9 o'clock. So mom and dad were cool with it. I mean, brother had a job as well, too. We just tried to make ends meet. But now these days, no, y'all trying to change it to 11 o'clock to get these 14-year-olds out there, and then y'all going to pay them $8 an hour?
That's why. That's exactly why, right? That's exactly why, because they want to be able to pay the lowest wages possible. It's not rocket science, right? This is, a lot of people say, oh, you got to read Karl Marx. You got to read this. You got to read theory. No. It's real simple. Your boss has every incentive to pay you as little as they possibly can. And if they can't pay you as little as possibly can, they'll go hire your children. And that's where we are right now.
Mm-hmm. That's terrible. That's really terrible.
On the flip side of it, your landlord has every incentive to charge you as much as they possibly can get away with charging you, while they have an incentive to, skate by on the repairs and whatever your situation is. But they're forces that are working against us. And a lot of times these politicians try to convince us that, no, we're really just trying to do this because it's in your best interest. You cannot tell me that me having my 14-year-old out until midnight so that you could get your last minute drive through at McDonald's is in our best interest as a society. You can't.
Yeah.
This is where we are, man. I want to shift real quick to, I don't know. Have you been following what's happening with Alec Baldwin and
man, I have. And it's so freaking sad because it's so many questions that are there, as an actor. And I feel so bad for him because now this man has killed somebody.
Yeah.
And it's not intentional. He has to live with this for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Rest of his life. And it just sucks how everything happened. And why would they even be using freaking live rounds on set?
Well, you know me, man. It's actually turning out to be a labor issue. It's turning out to be that the labor, the union workers left the set. And this accidental firing, actually, they had an accidental firing in the previous week. It actually went off twice before this. And so the union workers walked off of set, leaving non-union workers there. And it appears as though this is not just a tragedy in terms of, an accident, but it's also a major labor issue because, there should have been union labor work. I mean, when you're dealing with something like live ammunition or even blanks or weapons, I mean, dude, this reminds me of, I don't know how, I mean, I'm sure you get deep into movies and whatnot, and karate, Bruce Lee, and then his son. It reminded me of those stories. I'm like, you have to understand that, when this happens, you have professionals who make sure that this never happens again. And when you get so greedy that you don't want to pay union workers, this is how stuff happens. And in this case, someone has lost their life. And so this is going to, I don't know which way this is going to go. I mean, it is a tragedy. Yeah. I do feel bad for Alec Baldwin. I mean, to be in that position, I mean, I feel even worse for the victim. I feel even worse for the victim's family. But at the same time, man, it's like, I have no idea how this is going to play out, but I know, he's lawyered up at least 2 or 3 times over at this point.
Oh yeah. Alec Baldwin has been in the game for a long time. And David said that they didn't strike, but they got a tentative deal, so they didn't strike before the deal came through. But that the SOT has some additional information. So David, play that SOT real quick, David.
Answers following the fatal and accidental movie set shooting involving actor Alec Baldwin. CBS's Lilia Luciano has the latest in Hollywood, where gun protocols are coming under scrutiny.
The focus is now turning to why was Alec Baldwin handed a loaded gun? This as the Hollywood film community holds another candlelit vigil tonight for Helena Hutchins.
Tonight is about Helena.
In Albuquerque, the film and TV industry and the public remembered the 42-year-old cinematographer. Today, Santa Fe sheriffs are investigating what led to Thursday's fatal shooting when Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun that killed Hutchins and wounded director Joel Souza.
We need some help. Our director and our camerawoman has been shot.
Baldwin is cooperating with investigators in what is being considered an accidental shooting. Assistant Director Dave Halls yelled "cold gun," according to police, before handing it to Baldwin with a live round in it. But a 911 call raises questions about how the weapon was handled.
It is ID. He's supposed to check the guns. He's responsible.
Kevin Williams has supervised prop guns on movie sets for decades.
They should always be carefully monitored and made sure to be secured at all times, making sure that no live ammunition is ever brought to set.
Hannah Gutierrez was responsible for handling the guns on set. It was her second movie as head armorer. According to the search records from the sheriff's department, that armorer had 3 weapons that she had prepared. Then the assistant director grabbed one of them and handed it to Alec Baldwin.
How is it possible that a gun with the ability to kill was even on set?
Any gun could kill, even a prop gun. But the key is to understand, why was there live ammunition on set? That's something that experts have told us should never, ever be the case.
Bro.
That's a lot. That's so much, Ben.
That's why.
Because it's literally like something from a movie that you'll see. It was a movie that was out years ago. And on the set of the movie, they had bought live rounds and the person ended up killing somebody. And this was a movie. So here it is now. Just to see this is just like crazy, because everybody knows that there should never be live rounds on the set like that. It just makes no sense.
It makes so little sense that my conspiracy theory senses are starting to ring, man. I'm trying to avoid it.
We're not going down that rabbit hole, because mine probably doing the same thing right now. You already don't know.
Let me tell you, one of the reasons I reject conspiracy theories so much is because I think we all have a natural predilection to fall for them. Yes. But my God, that is so irresponsible that it almost borders intentional.
Yeah.
Ben. Let me get back to politics.
Yes, please, because don't go down there, because I'm gonna go with you.
You know what? See, somebody here got to be responsible.
Right, and right now, neither one of us are responsible.
Because no, you can't tell me. You know, I think with was it Brandon Lee? I think thing with Brandon Lee, it was like it wasn't live ammunition, and I have to Google it again. Bruce Lee's son, I think it was like a something shot fractured off the gun. I don't remember exactly, but live ammunition.
Yeah,
that's, even if that was a mistake, there's culpability in that. Like you don't simply get away with, that's manslaughter. Right. There's some responsibility there. Now, whether or not that responsibility is Alec Baldwin's, that's going to be up to the investigators. Because, you know, if somebody puts a gun in his hands and tells him that it's good to go for his job, I don't know what else that man could have done, to be honest with you.
And, you know, just listening to them when they said the armorer or armory person was checking the guns and that the AD just grabbed one, man, we can't. I know that they're under the gun. That's a bad reference to me. I know that they're in a rush sometimes to. I hate you, Ben. I know they're in a rush to get stuff done on set.
That tickled me so much. I'm sorry.
I know, because when I did, I'm like, oh my gosh,
you ran right into that one.
I did. I ran like a freaking train.
Past it. Okay, no, this is not the right segment for that.
Shut up, man.
Go ahead, Dave.
But just they in such a rush to get everything done that these mistakes, they can't happen like this. You can't have these types of mistakes. This is real life.
This is real life. And Helena Hutchins lost her life. 42, man. She was in school with us.
42.
She's in our cohort. So young and so talented, and lost because of what we do know for sure, that is a reckless tragedy that did not have to happen. So we'll be keeping an eye. I want to do one more story before we get over here to break and go over to Like It or Not. India Walton, who we've been following her campaign. She is the young Black woman who won the Democratic primary in Buffalo for the city mayor. The opponent, Byron Brown, who is the incumbent who lost the primary, decided to run a write-in campaign. So we've been following this for some time. And India came on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Dope sister. Dope sister.
Love India to death. Yes, I do.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just endorsed her, along with Chuck Schumer, along with several other high-profile Democrats. And it's about time. Good on you guys. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader from the state of New York, endorsing India Walton from Buffalo, New York. I want us to listen to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is from the Bronx, representative, I believe, from the 14th district. I could be wrong with that, but let's listen to her as she endorses India Walton.
Are you ready to elect?
Come on, Wu-Tang shirt.
One of the most badass mayors in the United States. But the only way that we do it is because we did it in a city first. When India Walton successfully makes the city safer without militarizing it further, we're going to be able to do that. When India Walton supports a labor movement with protections around labor, we're going to be able to do it on the federal level. When India Walton raises wages here, when India Walton protects renters and tenants here, when India Walton starts to cap and starts to stop the runaway cost of housing in this city, we're going to be able to do it federally. That's why it's important. We rally behind our candidate's nominee. That is what we do. Whether that nominee is you or the person you're going for, person you're not going for. Any Democrat right now that is trying to establish a precedent of not uniting behind the party's nominee is playing a dangerous game with our democracy. Dangerous game. So I want to send a very direct message. I want to send a very direct message to some of those folks. Because if you, especially as an elected official, and as a Democrat or elected official, try to go out and undermine your party's nominee, how can you ever turn around and ask people to support you when you are the party's nominee?
That's right. She preaching, bro.
She is with her Wu-Tang shirt on. I like that.
Wu-Tang forever. Did she have on Timberlands too? I didn't see the video. Did she have on Timberlands too?
I'm not sure. Oh, and David said that's an actual India shirt using the Wu-Tang. Okay.
Oh, all right, India Walton.
Yeah, India Walton on it. I love it.
She's a force, man. Love that sister. And everything that AOC said, we co-sign here. And especially the part about Brother Byron Brown in the city of Buffalo, New York, who is carrying out his own version of Donald Trump's big lie, who cannot concede. How is it that this big bad black man can't concede to this wonderful black woman? I would be more than happy to digress on behalf of someone who beat me, especially if it's a black woman. It's not a good look, Byron. That said, no Democrat can expect anyone to support them if they're not willing to support a nominee that they don't particularly like because she's a democratic socialist. Like, you know, she wants people to have health care, James. She wants you and me to be able to go and see the doctors. Like this last little bit of my back. Most of the time when I'm at the beach, James, I'm stretching and I'm doing some I think they probably think there's like a black Buddha out there because, you know, I'm a little heavy set, but I have on my hoodie and I'm out there stretching. And I'm really stretching. I'm trying to get this last little bit in my back. It would be great if people with lower back pain like that could just go to a doctor and go see a chiropractor. You know what I mean? India Walton is fighting for simple stuff like that so that every person, because there's a lot of folks who don't even have the experience of living their life without health care. India Walton has. I have. James, I know you have. Most black people have at some point. So it just blows me away that this black woman who's fighting on behalf of all people, but especially black people, just wants y'all to get health care. And now all of a sudden, Democrats and Byron Brown in Buffalo is like, ooh, she's a socialist. But anyway.
Right, man.
You know, these people get on my nerves, man.
I already do. and a hoodie on being in Florida. Come on,
Florida.
bro.
I've lost my mind. I don't have
You
many
have.
things left, but it's the ocean is talking to me, man. It's like it's renewing. We'll talk about it in the next segment. Let's get ready to go to break.
You know what? It sucks though. What sucks is I hate that I have to say being a hoodie in Florida. You should be able to wear a hoodie wherever the hell you want to and not be afraid to be attacked, looked at, or talked about. But it sucks that I have to say that. A hoodie, man.
Look at my naive ass. My naive ass. I was thinking about how hot it was because it's hot as hell here, man. I'm like, why is it 80, 90 degrees?
Right. And that's the other part of it. Like, why you got a damn hoodie on, big
because that's all
black
I
man?
man. That's all I packed. I had no intention. Like we just doing a little stayover. It's a little vacation, man. And I did not realize it was 100 degrees in Jacksonville. That said, yes, I'm wearing a hoodie in a very dangerous state for a black man to wear a hoodie. And I'm on the beach trying to stretch and do yoga and looking like Black Buddha. And I'm thinking it would be great for people who have lower back pain to go see a doctor. Vote for India Walton. Vote for these socialists. Vote for these democratic socialists. They just try to help you to go and get your teeth fixed, right?
Hello?
Because we're not just talking about, lower back pain. We're talking about some of y'all whose teeth have been falling out for the last 40 years and y'all still voting for Republicans. What the hell, man?
Leave my daddy out of this, man. Good morning, mom and daddy. I love you. Daddy ain't got no teeth. I love my daddy, though.
Put it up in the chat room. Just put it up in the chat room if you've ever dealt with dental pain so bad that you really consider pulling it out yourself.
Bruh.
Come on, man. Anyway, for all the rest of you who've never experienced that, patreon.com/the BPD show. If you've never had problems with finances and you've never known what it's like to have teeth paid, subsidize our show on behalf of all the other people in the audience who still don't have health care because we're still waiting on Joe Biden. We're still waiting on the Democrats. Y'all know I could turn anything into anything. James, take us to a break before I find some cliff to take us off of.
Right.
We'll be back.
He is so damn right, though, because when I tell you, man, that's the worst pain ever. And you trying to sit there and like, okay, I ain't got no dental insurance. The dental insurance I do have is not going to cover anything but a damn cleaning. So now I can't pay for it. And now I got to sit here with a rotten ass, hurting ass tooth just sitting there engulfing my life. And then just have to go and just think it out myself. Get the pliers and just go to work. I don't know what the hell I'm pulling. Just gonna pull until it stop hurting. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. Like it or not, with Rebecca Azor is coming up next, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. Good morning, everybody.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop.
According to SLP, good morning. A lady 747, good morning to you. Uneasy, what's going on? Raw Runner, what's going on? I haven't seen no rap myself in I don't know how long, bro. What's going on? Bro, the Dragon, that's what I heard too. I tried that clothes thing, and that clothes thing does not work for me. Bronos, good morning to you. Miss Nuru, good morning. Me too. That's who I have. I can't stand them. Beach waves, what's going on?
Can't stop.
Sylvia Jones, good morning to you. Infinite Content, what's going on, brother? Beat Low Frequency, good morning. Real quick before we get to the next song, of course, One Such Productions, what's going on? Good morning. It's time for a dad joke. The wedding that I went to over the weekend, It was so beautiful. Even the cake was in tears. It was amazing. Esther Brooks and Melody Dennis, good morning, y'all. Y'all come on in, like it or not, is coming up next. Make sure that y'all stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned.
I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I
Brother
had to go
Lateef,
run up
good
a check.
morning.
I got the message, homie, ain't no flexing on me. My attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on
Starshine
blessings for me.
Sundragon,
My
good
successes
morning.
only made them envious, they got upset.
running that
I
little
had to
toe on
put
the
all their
beat.
egos in check. I want the money, the pride, respect, and I heard you know so-and-so. You not a threat, cause I really know so-and-so. They like my family, so they go pretend that they cool till they bust at your motherfucking chest. I'm getting gutter, my flow been like butter, my check.
Ben, I'll pay for that
They
one.
see the number. All of my haters feel one of two ways. Really upset or they show some respect. I can't even think about it. I've been up, so read about it. No beat around it, straight to it, no ring around it. You coming from me?
Oh,
just to
lady
see about it.
747,
When
you didn't
see
like
the
my
one that
joke.
keep my feet up.
That's
100 meters
okay.
where
I
run
love
the
you
fee up.
still,
And go
okay?
king and none of mine a fear. I had to re-up on a reel, so you stay defeated. And put it back into the bit, cause I don't really need it. I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message, homie, ain't no flexing on me. My attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me. My successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all
Melody
their egos
Dennis
in
was
check.
going
I had to put all their egos in check. You're not entitled to anything else. I get 10 years of this under my belt. Your art isn't art, they don't feel it, and nobody hears it. Initiative stay on the shelf. Your ego done got in the way. It gotta die today. It gotta go. You should be happy I lighten the load. The weight of your arrogance, heavy as stone. I make an appearance, they already know. That chip on your shoulder gon' crumble and fold, yeah. It's
Justice
not a
Ricolas,
secret that
good
you have been
morning to
fearing the
you.
shit that I'm on, so you back to the brag and the boast. But I'm in a class of my own.
Mark S., what's going on? Industrial
I heard
Arts,
they
what
checking for
was
me,
going
no one checking on me,
sir?
so
Good
I had to go
morning.
run up a check. I got the message, homie, ain't no flexing on me. My attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me. My successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check.
What do you call an alligator in a vest? What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Oh my gosh. Susan, good morning, Susan.
Stop that. I hear 'em chatting the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking.
Until they tell me it's time to come back, y'all. We're gonna keep on telling. Let's see. I got another one for y'all.
Too sharp with the prize, white girls better tell me I'm awesome, yeah.
Hold on, here we go. Here we go. Why can't your hand be 12 inches long? Why can't your hand be 12 inches long? Because then it'll be a foot.
Get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. We take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chatting the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking.
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. We got more coming up next. Matter of fact, y'all welcome back to the screen. Benjamin Dixon, y'all.
Like it or not, with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Wait a minute. I didn't think we were ready to come back with the intro yet.
And then you're
And then
Yeah.
the camera went on. I'm like, wait a goddamn minute. What's going
Yeah,
on?
it didn't really flow the flow wasn't flowing the way we needed it to flow. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, October 25th, 2021. 6 years off. I want to come back before we head to Like It or Not. I wanted to come back with that clip, David, from Janet Yellen. And she was discussing the tax plan of Joe Biden. Heavy duty stuff, but we could dissect that stuff pretty easily around here. I want us to take a listen to this clip because the question that's being framed and asked by her, by the host from CNN, has an inherent right-wing Republican framing. And that's a real problem when we're talking about the media. Why is the media asking a question that does the bidding of conservatism? Let's take a listen to this clip.
I think what's under consideration is a proposal that Senator Wyden and the Senate Finance Committee have been looking at that would impose a tax on unrealized capital gains on liquid assets held by extremely wealthy individuals, billionaires. I wouldn't call that a wealth tax, but it would help get at capital gains, which are an extraordinarily large part of the incomes of the wealthiest individuals. And right now, escape taxation until they're realized, and often they're unrealized and at death, benefit from so-called step-up of basis. So it's not a wealth tax, but a tax on unrealized capital gains of exceptionally wealthy individuals.
Whew, a lot of words. Here's what she's saying. She's trying to explain to the host, that was CNN State of the Union, and that was Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen, explaining the tax plan that Joe Biden is trying to get passed. Now, keep in mind, there's nothing that's going to pass between the filibuster, between Joe Manchin, between Kyrsten Sinema, and all the Republicans. Chances are this policy, along with everything else, is dead on arrival. Now, that said, it doesn't mean that this isn't a good policy. What Janet Yellen is saying there about unrealized capital gains taxes means that there's a lot of rich people out there who ain't paying their taxes. A lot of rich people who make their living off of capital gains, which means they're not paying the labor tax that we pay. Those of you who pay your regular taxes out of every single check, there are people who are making billions of dollars who never see a fraction of the percentage that you see. It just doesn't happen. In fact, this country has penalized labor to the benefit of capital. If you make your money in capital gains, you can skirt free as much as you possibly can, or at least as much as you can afford accountants who can do that for you. Because we're talking about magnitudes of order of difference between your uncle who has some money and these billionaires who have enough accountants and attorneys to make sure the IRS never gets a dime of their wealth. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about your cousin. We're not talking about some of you who may have a couple of $1 million somewhere. You're fine. We're talking about those people who have so much money that they've been able to change the laws in their favor. Those are the people who have been skating out on paying taxes. And that's what the conversation is shifting to. And you're going to hear a lot of conversations right now, starting today, discussing how bad of an idea it is to raise taxes on the wealthy. Now, I wish Janet Yellen had a better communication specialist to help her communicate this, because all of the language that she used, at the end of the day, James, she needs to just help us to understand something very simple. It's time for us to tax the rich. Because if we don't tax the rich, you know what comes after taxing the rich is eating the rich. These folks got to pay their fair share, man. They got to pay up because we got stuff we got to fix. The roads are broken. The rent's too damn high. And they sitting here getting their third yacht. And we paying a higher percentage tax. There's secretaries who pay more in taxes as a percentage of their income than billionaires.
That's terrible. Yeah. Tax their ass.
Tax them.
Tax them all.
Tax them. Anyway, hang on. Now, see, I'm gonna do what David was supposed to do. I'm gonna look at Slack before I just go to this next thing. Okay, great. So now I know we could go to a break. Let me stop. Let me stop before one of our best laborers decides to strike on our show.
I wasn't gonna say that too.
Be good to labor. Be good to those who labor amongst you. I think that's actually a scripture. Look at that.
He did the hard cut and took the music out and everything. I'm like, God damn it, not yet.
The whole show has been canceled because we were not kind to those who work amongst us. David, we love you, man. James, take us to a break. We're going to stay on a break a little lengthy here. When we come back, we're coming back with Rebecca Azord. I'm going to go call her and see where you at, sis.
Right. Okay.
We'll be back, like it or not, after this.
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. Rebecca Azor is coming through sometime soon. We'll see. And if not, then, you know, me and Ben go carry it. We got this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Don't forget, y'all, if you have not already, patreon.com/likeitornot, patreon.com/the BPD show. You want to make sure y'all join, man. We had a costume party coming up on Friday. Our patron party is a costume party. You don't want to miss it. We will be in the studio doing the damn thing. So you definitely don't want to miss it, man. It is going to be a literal movie. So bring your ass through there and be part of it, y'all. Like it or not, starting next. Hey.
Underwater, I'm under, but I'm high. I can't let go of the way you love me better. Thought I could never touch the sky, but you got me holding heaven. Take me to a crowded place, and on the wall I see is the way that you breathe. Hit me like a hurricane, and I know all I need is your love next to me. Oh, I keep sinking into your blue, into your blue. Yeah, I keep sinking into your blue, into your blue, right into you.
Like yourself when you finally let someone in and give you some help. It's funny how you finally feel like yourself when you finally let someone in and give you some help. Hey, yeah. Get what you want, gotta get what you need. Better take all you get, my love, 'cause you know it don't come for free. Every little thing you want.
Seven, sweetheart, what's going on, sister? And Miss Nuru, Nat A was actually here on Friday. I think she was in the building. Beach Waves, good morning. What's to be good morning? Nicole Johnson, Brenda Johnson, good morning, y'all. Look at all the Johnsons in the building, Johnson and Johnson. Tiger, I'll check them out. You send it to me and I'll see if we can get them in there. You know how I go. Nicole, how good morning to you. Goku, what's going on, brother Goku? Good morning. Shout out to everybody on Twitch that's streaming this morning. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're streaming. Good morning to you. And happy birthday to Angie Bay 511. Angie Bay 511 on Twitch. Happy birthday to you, Angie Bay. Rebecca must be trapped with the corporate overlords. Oh, welcome back to the screen, my brother from another brother.
Another brother, mother, hother.
Tongue tied. Brother from another mother. Benjamin Dixon, y'all. Look.
James, who is that we listen to?
Off the Grid.
Off
That's the name, Off the Grid. Yeah.
I'm feeling that. You know who I'm not feeling, man? Boosie.
So ain't nobody stunned Boosie ass.
Boosie stunned Boosie. And like Boosie is losing it, man. For those of you who don't know who Boosie is, what's the song?
BOOSIEBADAZZ. That's me. Wipe me down.
Wipe me down. Yeah. You got to know Boosie now. Great song. Right. Not so good of a guy. He's had this ongoing thing with Lil Nas X. Everybody knows Lil Nas X, his son, Old Town Road, right? I knew that was a hit before Garth Brooks even got on it. Not Garth Brooks. What's your boy name? Billy Ray Cyrus. Billy Ray Jesus. Before Billy Ray Jesus got on the song, I knew it was a hit. Boosie got a problem with Lil Nas X, man. And he particularly has a problem with Lil Nas X being gay. And he just won't let it alone. I mean, it's okay, fine. Whatever you disagree with the fine, but just shut up then. Like, don't. It's none of your business what that man does with his time, right? This is the way I figure it. But Boosie is literally obsessed with what this man is doing with his life. So much so that Lil Nas decided to troll Boosie and say that they had a song coming out, which they don't. They clearly are not going to do a song together.
Clearly.
Lil Nas X, yo, trifling ass.
He woke up and said, I got time today. Yeah, so me and Boosie doing a song together.
He said he woke up and chose violence, man. This was Boosie's extremely homophobic response. He said, stop trolling me, F word. You a whole B word, playing with a gangster, shaking my head. You can keep S-ing, it's I can't even read it. And getting blanked in your ass and peace. I would too if I was Lil Nas X. Oh, then he starts saying that he should kill himself.
Yeah.
And then he said, you would do this world a huge favor. Nobody wants you here. So he went from the homophobia wasn't enough. He had to escalate. He's so troubled. Boosie is so troubled by the fact that Lil Nas X said that he's going to do a song with you. Boosie, have you seen your album sales? You should want to do a song with Lil Nas X, bruh. But he's so bothered by it, he instead goes full homophobic and then tells the man that he should kill himself. Like, wow.
Yeah. Only thing I say is let's see if Boosie is going to get canceled. But I
well,
digress.
He had to delete the tweet. Twitter took it down. And then Lil Nas X responded. We have his response on the screen. He said, I'm truly saddened. I've never been so mortified in my life. I can't believe Disney Channel has yet to play Halloween Town this entire October. In other words, he ain't studying Boosie's ass.
He ain't studying Boosie's ass because he already know. Boosie, I forgot we on these good people, good channels.
Yes, we are streaming on these on the white folks internet today. We're not on the black folks internet yet.
Right. We on this Charlize Theron internet.
We on the Izzy exam. Wait, Iggy. Wait, which one is the White House president? We on the Iggy Azalea internet.
Doing all this on Garth Brooks good internet. I got it. We doing all this on Celine Dion good internet.
My heart will go on.
Okay.
Near, far.
See, this is what the hell happened when Rebecca don't have lights.
This is what we think about you, Boosie. Just to bring it full circle.
Oh man,
I've never seen a man so preoccupied with what another man does with his ass. Never seen somebody. Oh man. like
is
wanting to know like
breast.
what type of tissue this man likes to use. Like that's some things are personal, Boosie. Stay out of that man's tissue.
Right. Bro, you wake up and just Lil Nas X is on the brain, dude. It's okay. It's okay, Boosie. You got a man crush, Boosie. It's okay.
Hey man,
It's
he
okay.
tall, dark, and handsome, man. Like it's okay, Boosie. I mean, he real tall. How tall is Lil Nas X? Like 6'9", something real tall. You never know, Boosie.
Oh man,
he right there, right? That Benjamin Dixon out there on that gay stick. That's what he goes. Boosie. Man, don't try me, homie.
Yo, know who I am? Oh, Boosie, baby.
I'm Boosie. Wipe me
He said,
down.
I'm gonna do a song with you. I don't do no song with you.
Oh man, Boosie. What's Little Nas X doing today, homie?
Okay. I don't like that. You remember Minister Society, brother? I don't like that. I don't like that shit. No. That was Boosie ass all day. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey.
Oh man, Rebecca, you better come save us before we get the whole show canceled. Boosie gonna send his guns after us. Ain't Boosie in Atlanta?
Hell no.
Where Boosie from?
Where he from?
He does live in Atlanta, but he's in like the outskirts, but he's from Louisiana, I think Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Oh, that white. Okay. All right. Wipe me down. No, I mean, hey, his rapping voice.
Hang up the Boosie impersonation right now. Right?
It's not an impersonation. It's Boosie slander. And so long as he keeps slandering Lil Nas X, he can catch it, man. Leave that man alone. Yeah. How you doing, sis?
I'm doing good. So I got a story. And good morning to the children.
Go ahead.
Two stories. It's two stories. So
okay.
I couldn't get on earlier this morning because I dropped my Camlink cord in the sink.
Wait. You dropped your
what?
My Camlink cord in the sink. So
just the cord, not the Camlink itself. Okay.
Yeah. I had to wait till it dried off.
Okay.
Before I put it in the camera.
We are the most advanced jerry rig show in the history.
So I had to, I saw you, Ben texted me and stuff. I didn't want to tell you guys. I'm like, I don't know if I broke it yet. So I had to see if it was going to work. So I had to let it dry off. Secondly, I woke up this morning.
Our show needs a sugar daddy.
I woke up this morning and I saw in my corner, because I had a plant. Let me show you right here. There was a plant. I had a Majesty palm plant right up in here.
I remember that tree.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
And now it's outside. Okay, because I woke up this morning and there was a worm.
Rebecca, plants with worms are healthy plants.
No,
like depending on the kind of worm.
I understand, right? But not in my house. So that I woke up and the worm, and mind you, I've been taking care of Lucy for like a good
minute.
2-3
the whole
months.
pandemic.
Yeah. No. Lola and Lynette, that was the whole pandemic. But Lucy, I've been taking care of her for like 2 or 3 months. She was my first huge plant that I'm like, I'm doing such a good job. She was dying. I brought her back to life, trimmed her down, spruced up her soil. But little did I know that when I would wake up this morning, I would see a worm dead on the floor.
It was dead.
It was that. No,
you're afraid of a dead worm.
Oh no, listen. So then I said, where did this come from? So then I started to take my spray and say,
I think a scorpion killed it.
Maybe those worms are trying to come in from the outside. So I did the, my backdoor spray, whatever.
The barrier defense.
Yes. So then I walk away. And I come back and I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone. I said, girl, you wouldn't believe what happened this morning. I was telling her. Then I looked back in the pot. I looked back in there and then I saw white little caterpillar looking things just living their life like it's golden in my place. I said no.
You didn't kill him, though, did you?
So you didn't kill him. It gets crazy. So I'm talking to her, she's talking to me, we talking, and then I'm just looking at the pot and I'm like, girl, I don't know, Lucy gonna have to go outside because she names all my plants. So I said, Lucy gonna have to go outside, girl. So then I look again and I start to see something trying to make its way to the top of that soil. I said, oh no, girl, this plant is going outside. It's gonna have to die in the winter. It's gonna have to die. I'm going to the store and I'm getting a fake plant. Because if you think with worms crawling through my house, you crazy. I said, no, I tried my little plant, my lucky bamboo.
Rebecca,
my other bamboo. All of these plants that I have don't do me no wrong. But I said I'm gonna go and
your ancestors are a little touched right now. They're like,
Listen.
I know you're not afraid of little worms.
Yeah, while I'm sleeping, you think I want worms coming on my that thing is outside. You can't.
The worm is not going to crawl up your bedpost, Rebecca.
I feel so bad for Lucy. Anyways, long story short, Lucy is outside. I feel bad because I've loved
20
on
degrees
her.
outside.
I've loved on her. I've gave her, and it's going to be a cool winter.
Sorry to that plant.
Sorry to Lucy.
Sorry to that plant.
Sorry to Lucy. Anyways, that's my story. I apologize.
Rebecca, so the bug, you said it was one trying to work his way up.
I looked at it and said, oh no, girl, it's something trying to come up right now. Right now, as we speak. It was literally trying to wiggle itself up, going back down. Then it started moving throughout the soil. I said, not
Oh, hell no. Okay.
Not
At that point, Lucy would have been out the door for me too, because bro, I don't do bug.
I got to take her out. I got to take her out to the trash. And I feel so bad because maybe someone else can love on her. I don't know.
Oh God, Rebecca.
I thought I was a really good plant mom, but there are some things I will not.
You just abandoned that plant.
There are some things I will not.
It's a worm. Somebody said in the chat that Rebecca gave a plant ivermectin.
I should, right? Doesn't that help deworm it? I should. I had to abandon my plant child. I had to. I can't. I felt bad too because I loved her and I felt like we were connecting. Because
we're so ridiculous on this channel. Rebecca,
I mean,
we
you
start
can
off.
still bring it back in.
Not in my home. She has to go. If there's anybody who's looking for a plant,
it is a worm,
and who could take care of it, I will.
Girl, bring me Lucy, girl. I'll take her.
Okay, because I can't do it.
And what's up with the 3 L's? What's your friend's name that named the plants?
Her name is Edina, and
there's no L in her name at all.
There's no L in her name, but she likes the names. I guess with L's on them, so she kept them really.
Edina, what's up, Edina? Or no,
Yeah.
I know of her.
Oh yeah,
Right.
everybody should. Because when I'm talking about my one friend, that's my one friend.
That's it.
That is my one friend.
Yeah. Rebecca, you dropped the clip. So we got 2 clips here dealing with COVID-19. One of them you dropped. It was really a touching clip, but the other one is something crazy coming out of California, the Barclays Arena. Protesters who are standing in solidarity with Kyrie Irving's refusal to take the vaccine. Now he's going to refuse to take the vaccine. He won't be able to play. And I guess according to reports, he's still going to get paid at $17 million. I think that's what Charles Barkley was talking about last week. Protesters. These are the same folks, Rebecca, who a couple months ago would have told them to shut up and dribble. Now they're down there on the scene protesting. And you should be able to see it on your screen. Let's take a look at the protesters from protesting on behalf of Kyrie Irving, a basketball player who refuses to take the vaccine. Let's take a look at it. Stand with Kyrie.
Girl, y'all doing all this for Kyrie Irving, girl. You say it's real strong January 6th energy right now.
Yeah.
Like y'all from the capital revolution.
They wildin', bro.
Yeah,
They
it was like,
wildin'.
if I hear that one more time, that was the longest let Kyrie play. I get it. Now for me and my worm infested.
I was gonna call for us to come back earlier, but you were a little preoccupied over there. So go ahead.
So I was actually texting them in the group. They're telling me to repot Lucy, and because they want Justin.
You trying to do a show? You telling D that she can wait till 10:30 like everybody else?
No, she talking about in the chat room, Ben. She's in the chat room.
Yeah, I was in the chat room. I was talking to her.
You in the chat? We're trying to do a cut.
Yeah, but
Go ahead,
that's the part. That's part of the
Ben
process.
so special, Rebecca. He know, like, I don't be over here looking at the damn phone all day long in the chat room.
It's just when I look at the
Damn,
phone,
James,
though,
I'm just
when
trying to give
when I look
Rebecca
at the
a hard
phone,
time. Come on.
Yes, I was gonna say he automatically assumes that I am texting other people. Okay, so
Right.
it could be,
I don't care.
now,
Listen, I don't wake up thinking about you like Boosie wakes up thinking about Lil Nas X. I don't care.
No,
who
I
you
know, but
text.
what I'm saying is when I'm on the show, you automatically assume that it's just I'm having fun with my
I'm
friends,
guilty.
like
I'm
a father.
guilty.
Like, oh, what
I'm
you doing?
guilty.
What you doing? What you doing? What you
Well,
doing?
hey, are you paying attention? I really be like, I'd be like, Rebecca, here's the good part I wanted you to see because I know you're going to say something good. So
I can listen with my ears.
But no headphones.
No,
oh, bro. Take her down. I'm done. I'm done. Take her down, David.
But no, seriously, all of that, this whole this whole thing surrounding Kyrie Irving, and not only Kyrie Irving, the conversation that people are having around COVID-19, and the fact that they're saying it's the freedoms of people that we're taking away, when it's different when we have these basketball players who are supposed to know. For me, if you're playing with someone and you don't want to infect them, their children, I understand he may have his stance on it. I don't understand his stance on it, but I understand that he does have a stance on it. At this point, you should just go sit down, talk to your fans, help them understand that, hey, there is no need to attack. This is my choice. I'm going to stand right beside my choice, and I'm going to go sit my behind down at home and do what needs to be done, right? For whatever. But when we take these platforms, and this is what I say, when we take these platforms and we start saying stuff like, I know what I'm doing for myself, and I know that, what's going in my body. And so now you're creating these rhetorics that what the vaccine does is either still kill and destroy, right? That's what you're saying.
Right. They say the vaccine, the whole devil out here.
Meanwhile, being on the other side of the vaccine and having your own opinion, stance on why you don't want to do it, your own opinion on why you want to do it, right, that's fine. But you have this platform of so many, right? And when you do stuff like that, you got these people who are outside thinking that they don't want you to play because they're being mean to you. But in fact, if they don't want you to play because they don't want you infecting other players who go home to their families or people in the arena or things of that sort, they want to protect their fans, especially with the amount of people that go there. If y'all want to go get infected by popular people, just go to a concert. They have those all the time. Head over to California. There are a lot of people who are doing vaccine free. Like, no, you don't even need the vaccine to come in nowhere. You don't need to have a negative COVID test to go in some places. All around the United States, there are places like that. If that's what you want, go do it. Go play at the local. Go watch your kids play basketball. Go outside. Half of y'all got kids y'all don't even watch play, but don't even watch them at all. So take them to the park. Like, go do things like that. Why y'all worried about a man who don't even know your name, who don't even pay your bills? But you booked the ticket to go fly over here.
I don't even know who you are.
And look, my brother-in-law and I were talking about this over the weekend. He does a sports related podcast as well too. And we were talking about it. Kyrie's always been trouble wherever he's gone. And he is the only one in the NBA so far that's out there that doesn't have this damn vaccine. So it's just like, is he the only? Really saying it. Yeah, it's like, what are they really upset about? Like, why are y'all upset? Because Kyrie's not playing? Let's be honest, man. What has Kyrie done as of lately? He ain't been doing nothing. He ain't been playing. So what's the point?
That's
like, really, what's the point? What are y'all protesting for? Just because y'all want to be outside and be in a group of people?
You said
That's
it though.
all
That's
that
the
is.
January 6th energy that we see there. That's that January 6th
big
energy.
January 6th energy.
Big.
I hate you, Rebecca. I hate you. Hey, we're gonna have so much fun Friday night. Friday night we are having the patron party, dress up patron party. We're also going to be meeting in person, shooting a video and shooting some photos and whatnot.
Can we
It's gonna
make
be
sure we
live.
have food there? Because it's like I haven't been in that type
You
of
got food?
environment.
You got McDonald's money?
I don't do McDonald's. I really want to do crab legs.
Right. We don't
It was
get
a joke.
catering or nothing?
It was a joke. Yeah, I know when you used to
Look,
ask
Rebecca,
for McDonald's.
look, Ben, we don't get catering.
Like,
Bruh.
are we not doing? There's places that cater. So
Is
I
it
tell you
hair and
what.
makeup at least?
I'll cater. I'll bring something. No, we
Y'all,
don't. I don't
y'all will
cook.
have craft services because the folks who do it, they do it big like that all the time. But
Oh, you know what we can do on
Mhm.
lunch break? We can go
Lunch
and get some crabs.
crab legs.
Not the disease, the food.
Speaking of crabs, I was on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University yesterday.
Oh, thank you for talking
Right,
about
we
your own school.
crabs in the pan. Crabs in the pan. Man.
crabs.
Come on,
Okay.
man.
I was like, what the
Oh, that's
hell?
what
But I
call
did
the
pass
bamboo
by.
crab?
I did pass by
the freshmen
Lefevre.
called crabs.
I did pass by Lefevre Hall though, so we could be talking about all the crabs. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I honestly didn't have anything else to say.
Yeah, Rebecca, y'all at FAM, I think they were called crabs as well too.
Okay.
Freshmen, yeah,
Yeah,
freshmen. in the
freshmen.
band.
Y'all incoming freshmen in the band, they called crabs to be wearing the white t-shirts.
Oh,
James,
they
I
did
didn't
wear
even
white t-shirts.
recognize.
We went and did a whole report on them and had to follow them like night and day. Like literally
Really?
their whole, and it was like, excuse me, this is not. Why are you out here at this time of day?
I wonder what it's like now, because back in the day with us, it was an adventure.
Oh, they can't do nothing.
I believe that it's still an adventure, but I think that because of social media and things like that, they have probably like had them come in, swear that they won't say stuff. I'm
You ain't
pretty
gonna
sure
haze
that.
nobody.
Oh,
yeah. It's gotten real deep because I know at one point they were telling me that they can't do any kind of exercising anymore.
What?
They can barely do the white t-shirts because it's a form
that's
of
no
hazing.
fun.
Oh
That's
yeah,
no
man.
fun.
It's a lot of stuff now. Like the stuff we used to do, that stuff brought us closer together. I got my nails done over the weekend too. Y'all see?
Oh, it's okay.
Wait, put a little closer
yeah,
to the camera. A little closer to the camera. I couldn't see it really. Put a little
It's
closer.
given, it's buffed and it's shaped.
Look
Okay.
at that. Look at that.
I was gonna get them color, but I'm like, is that too gay? It's okay. I'll do it.
But you are gay. And
Hey,
man,
I'm coming around here with all that LGBTQ.
You can be as flamboyant as you want to. You can be not flamboyant. You can be femme today. You can be masculine tomorrow. That's your power. That's what you can do if you want to.
Hey,
Shoot,
James, man, don't come around here with all that.
tomorrow, I might let my beard grow in. You just never know what you're gonna give me.
I'm about to leave.
You just never know. I might let my mustache just slide right on, give you a nice little curl at the, on the side. You just never know what you're gonna get.
Rebecca grows a better beard than me, to be quite honest with you.
It be all up in here. And it only grow on this one. It give me three. It give me 3 strands right here. Okay, thick and strong.
I love y'all. Rebecca, here's the flip side of COVID-19. The flip side of COVID-19 is the clip that you sent. Tell us about the clip, the reuniting clip that you sent.
So, with this one, I saw this and I thought this was a full circle moment for COVID-19 patients who make it through, but also their journey and how everybody in your life is affected when it comes to COVID-19. We don't see a lot of people. Well, not that we don't see. We do hear a lot of people who made it out, but we also hear about a lot of people who have passed. In this particular story, I call it a feel-good story. It might make you cry a little bit. It made me, kind of like, I don't want to run the mascara, but take a look at a mother reuniting with her baby son after a month of having COVID-19.
Wow.
Hey everyone, I'm asking for prayers. I'm in the hospital with COVID, and I just please need everybody to pray for me. if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it.
What's up? Here, White. Got a prize for you. I got a prize for you. Look. Look at it.
Mother made it too.
Look at her. He didn't forget her. Yay. Look at squeezing her.
He did not forget her. Look. He's just holding it. He don't want to let go.
Oh,
You did it.
you're about to make me go grab my babies. Come here, Jeremiah.
Good mama. Surprise.
Oh, look at she patting and rubbing the arm.
I
Look
want
at your
one.
mama.
He is so happy.
That's
Look
mom.
at
Look,
me.
he's like, you ain't letting me go.
Oh. You say, no, you can't go no more. Oh. I bet this make his heart just leap.
Oh,
Look
my
at
baby.
it. Let's go. Your mom. Yeah.
Look at the smile.
Look how he's smiling.
Yeah, your mama. Your mama. Is that your mama? Your mama? Your mama.
You guys ready to get in this house?
Yeah, let me get the wheelchair.
Listen, she's not ready to get in the house just yet. She just wanted to hug on her baby, love on her baby.
Yeah.
And that's what these are the truths of COVID-19.
Yeah.
This story you may not hear because the person may have passed, but thank God in this particular situation, this is a positive ending. She was in the hospital. She was battling COVID-19. Do you see how young her child is? Missing moments with your kid.
Oh my
missing
God.
moments with your family members. Not being able to be around people by yourself, secluded in the hospital. And, as a new mother. So, this just shows you that COVID-19 affects everyone. So while you guys are over there fighting for Kyrie Irving to step into the arena,
preach, Black.
I'm not saying that he does have COVID-19, but to possibly play with people that he can give COVID-19 to, or you guys standing. And when I say that, let me be clear, because I think what people do when we speak these things online or when we say these things online, you can still get COVID-19 as somebody who's vaccinated, but your chances of living.
Yeah.
I can look at somebody who was unvaccinated and say to that person, I may have COVID-19, right, as a vaccinated person, but I know that I probably may live to see another day.
That's right.
But a lot of people like to use, and this is just a caveat while I get back to this story. A lot of people also like to use the recent death of
who was that just recently?
Why am I not remembering? That's
Lord. Who just died and they try to blame it on COVID-19?
It was
Colin Powell.
Why would I not remember that? Because I was about to name him every other name.
Because, I have a hard time remembering. Anyway, go ahead.
But with Colin Powell dying recently, a lot of people were saying, well, look, he was vaccinated, but let's understand too. Yes, he was vaccinated.
Cancer.
I'm so happy that he was vaccinated, but he was battling things, I believe, like Parkinson's disease. And
no, it's cancer. He was
it was
cancer.
a few things. It wasn't only cancer, though. He had underlying issues, and forgive me if I'm wrong if it's not Parkinson's disease, but when I went through and I was reading up on him, there were a lot of things that he was battling. One not only being cancer, but not saying that that is a reason, but that is a reason. If you have underlying conditions already, it was Parkinson's and cancer.
Both.
So when you're battling things already, and that's a strong man. He done made it through. He's the first to be seated in that seat. Understand, as a black man. So he's been rocking and doing his thing for so long, working and things like that. Went and got the vaccine, and under these circumstances, we have to understand that he had underlying conditions and things like that. But at the same time, we can't take him and make him the example for the most of us who have gotten the vaccine and are able to say our experiences with it. Now, for this woman, I know that's a lot. There's another woman that I saw who had a similar story, couldn't be with her kids for a minute, had COVID-19, but was vaccinated and said, I'm so sick, but they even told me if I didn't have this vaccine, I wouldn't have made it past week 1.
My God. Well, I was looking at, Rebecca, as you were doing that, I was looking up the stats on it. and this is from the CDC, in the Southeast across Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi, between 45% to 57% of children who lost a primary caregiver were Black. The people who are losing their parents are Black.
And then I just saw in the chat somebody said, excuse me, and that's what I just asked David to check. 190,000 children, orphans from COVID. 190,000 kids now that's in the system because of COVID.
And think about this. Of them are Black, y'all.
Yeah, and think about
this. A whole generation.
So if we want to take it there, Ben, because I didn't want to take it there, but I'm gonna take it there, all right? So when it comes to the Black people, we know that there's a disparity when it comes to, when it comes to the numbers, when it comes to COVID-19 and things like that. Now, I will say in this particular moment, even reading this right here, geez. But I will say in this particular moment, remember in the beginning, Ben, when we had a lot of these representatives, these Black representatives coming on to talk about their local areas. I remember Servin Jones, and it was saying how he was fighting for, getting
Omari,
people and then Omari, that was in Florida. These people just were fighting to get COVID-19 in these particular places where the COVID-19 vaccine, in these particular places where people were of color. And what was happening in these places were other vaccine chasers, because that's what you call them, were coming down from other parts and coming to get the vaccine. And before the Black people in that community were able to get them, when specifically these vaccine drives were created for these Black people who were not able to get it. So in these areas, they were setting them up, and these people that were not part of the community were coming in and grabbing the
white folks. The white folk were Omari Hardy was telling us about how the white folks were coming to his district and snatching them vaccines.
And I thought that was like, oh, okay, just in those certain areas, but no. And it became so common in these areas that they called them vaccine chasers. So when it comes to COVID-19, Black people were put at the bottom when it came to saving their lives. When it came to COVID-19, they were put at the bottom of the list. So a lot of these people who have passed, and a lot of these kids who are orphans, we do have your local and state officials, federal officials as well, to blame for those things. Because when it even comes to this, they think that our lives don't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's just dawning on me like these are real numbers. Okay, so y'all asked me, like, I've been extra throughout this whole pandemic. I'm pretty sure I've taken probably 10 steps more than most people should. But it's because I ain't never want to have to spend no time away from my kids with the possibility of me being dead, right? That video speaks to me in volumes, like, because, when your babies are at that age, that baby, another month, that baby would not have remembered his mother. You know what I mean? 2 months. But then I think about that number, 120,000 kids who have lost their parents. And you're talking about 40 to 50% of them are Black. 60,000 Black kids out there. Like, I love all of y'all. Everyone is a tragedy, but it was already hard enough to be a Black child in this country in the first place. Now you got 60,000 more without parents. We got to do something. We got to. But we can't do it this morning.
But my thing is also, when we try to do stuff, what happens? Like I said, those local officials, and shout out to them, saw that there was only particular people being taken care of when it came to getting the vaccine or trying to protect their communities. And when they looked like us, they were not. They were like, those people can die. Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We don't know what's going to happen, but those people, they can die. And those leaders said, hell no. We're gonna get our hands on some vaccines, and we're gonna take them to these particular communities and do these drives. But even in that moment, right, they were doing something, and they were told to be stopped. they were telling other communities, or other people were telling other communities that were predominantly white, go get your vaccine in this predominantly Black area so that you would be safe. And they were going there all times of the morning and things like that, saying that they deserve, because if they didn't get it, it would be something racist.
Come on, man. Funny how unafraid of Black communities these folks are when they need something in our community. They were out there lined up 3:00 in the morning to get the vaccines. Out there running, jogging. You know, Karen out there jogging because she's ready to gentrify our neighborhood. They did the same thing with the vaccine. And we got folks like Kyrie Irving's washed
There's
up.
no S on his last name.
Did I put an S there? Irving's.
Irving's. You made him more than one person.
I feel like
the Kyries, the Irvings.
I'm going to the Targets. Why is it the Targets? I'm going to the Walmarts. I'm going to the Kroger's.
Child, what they say, that mind and that mind's be killing some of y'all.
You may have had him once, but I got him all the time. He's mine.
Not mine. He's mine.
Mine.
I don't even know what I was getting ready to say at this point.
Okay. And sometimes they even put a Z on the end. I don't know why.
That's why you really need it. Mine's is keeping up with the Joneses. Oh man. I don't even know what I was gonna say. It's not even important at this point. What else we got? We got a few more minutes here. Let me look at our list. They out there looking crazy for Kyrie.
And why you look like you coming straight from a bachelor's party? Yes, you look like you had a good night and you just coming in.
I'm trying to put it. Listen, I'm out of pocket this week. And I didn't necessarily do the best packing job, as you can imagine. I just threw some stuff in a bag, and I'm a little disappointed in my selection. So I'm
you're giving the usher, premium outfit in church. Bubba, you're giving me fresh on vacation.
Hey, it's a blue. Wait. Does it not look blue to y'all? Does it look black?
That's giving black. Maybe a navy blue.
Oh, it's blue. It's definitely blue. Oh, y'all can't see that it's blue. So no, I guess I do look like an usher. I look like a whole ass usher on
You're giving me
I told you like one of the Blues Brothers. You just missing the glasses and the hat.
You're giving me the golden.
But you said that last week. You said that this looks red too, right? You said this looks red.
Yeah, but now I actually see an orangey, pink situation going on. But don't trust my eyes. I wear glasses. I can't find them.
That's right. And you're scared of worms. Not that has anything to do with anything.
And I'm scared of the dark. So don't trust my eyes. And I be on my phone all day and night. And I got to put my light on low to see things properly on my phone. Don't trust my eyes. But no, I was saying, Bubba, you look like you're going on vacation. And I know I'm giving Dora the Explorer.
I didn't see Dora in the outfit, but I do see it in the I say you came with the bang, you came down with the the bob.
Stiff well.
Oh man, because when celebrities get their hair done, they be quick to get on the screen. Like y'all. Anyway, never mind. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. You can't. I don't want to talk about too many celebrities, and then they actually find our clips. Never mind. What's next, David? What we got? I've learned not to call people out by name on this show. I don't want to do the Rikers story, but have y'all seen the pictures that came out of Rikers?
So yeah, we don't have to do the Riker story because I want
we gotta show those.
I want to bring back Olay on the show because she's particularly covering it. Friend to the show, Olay, who's lives in New York and who actually has clients who are in Rikers, who's covering the story. It's interesting when we see these pictures, and if we have the picture, can we bring it up? But when we see these pictures and we see, as we discuss on the show, the conditions that are unlivable, right? These are unlivable conditions. This right here is what it looks like at Rikers. And this is the intake, guys. These are people mixed with all these other people. This is where they're sleeping. This is what they're doing. And people are sleeping sitting up. People are sleeping on the floor. There's nowhere for them to actually be. But they are... Let me tell you guys. Oh, wow. Thank God that you mentioned that, Ben, because I had posted that in my story. And somebody, I ain't gonna say no name, but one of these little beady head men that be trying to holler at me all the time.
Girl, call him out.
Commented on the photo and said,
now I gotta go see who commented.
I said, this is unacceptable. He commented on the photo. No, this is in my stories. He commented on the photo and he said, maybe they should stop doing crime.
Man, who is this clown? And why has he even got access to you like that?
Because my page is not private. But so then when I saw that, when I seen that, I said, okay, wow. So I had to get him together and I listed why it is. And I'm like, I gave him the facts, and then I told him how absurd he is by saying that, because it's almost like we as a people, when we're doing good and when we're not in these when we're not in these conditions, nobody's affected. We don't see those people as people either. We could be black or white. We won't see those people as people either. If you didn't go to court if you miss your date as a jury or whatever, a juror, why would I'm pretty sure that there are people in there for simple things like that. For also simple things like smoking weed on the corner, right? But for also little things like that who are in there. Now, why would they be packing out these jails? Because they think it's more important to put people in jail for petty ass stuff like this. 1, 2, the jail. This is not new to Rikers Island. This is true to Rikers Island. This is years. I told you when we were covering this not too long ago, I was reading an article from the beginning of the pandemic that still rang true on the day that I was reading it. We're talking over a year later. Over a year later. And this is why, and of the conditions of the jail, people are still going on strike, but they've been going on strike since last year. Since last year, over the conditions, people who work there. Okay. Now you see they're sleeping on the floor. They're also having to work and run this jail. They're also having to do that over there. The inmates.
Oh, that's right. This is the same system that they had to run the jail.
So
and these guys aren't even convicted. These guys still have their street clothes.
Just about to say they're not even convicted yet, and they're just in here like this.
And remember,
in a holding cell.
Yes, and remember, because of the environment in there, and because of the strikes, they're not even able to contact their lawyers, their representatives. So they're in there for longer. Some of them.
They're just throwing these kids. They're just throwing these people in here and just like shovel them in there and just like go away. But go back to the very first picture, David. If you don't mind sliding all the way back to the beginning. Y'all can't tell me that don't look like a slave ship packed in.
I was just about to say the same damn thing.
And they're trying to survive. They're trying to make it to another day. They're trying.
With a mask on. Brother got a mask on. Forget this, a whole pandemic. There's nobody in that room who's safe from contracting COVID.
And he got a mask on, but he's trying so hard to rest up that he got his head by somebody's foot, y'all.
I want to show somebody something else. There's a clip. We're going to do this one in the after party because we're coming up on time, David. And I think I sent it to y'all on Twitter. But it's a clip of a gas station attendant who's giving away flowers. And he's giving it to black men. And the black men have a very violent reaction to it. Almost as if like, don't try me with the flower. Don't make it seem like I'm soft. The context of the people sharing the video really was just attacking black men like we're wild animals. But I'm like, do you have any idea what it's really like? See, I grew up hood adjacent, so I got a good glimpse. I got pulled over by the cops and got accosted enough to understand that I didn't need to go any further into the hood because the life that a lot of our black brothers and sisters have to live in those environments do not allow them to be soft. Don't allow them to be kind. Look at how they're having to survive in that prison cell. They're not even processed yet, y'all. They still have on their clothes that they came back from the party in. And they're having to be crowded into these situations where they have to fight for their lives, not only against the people in the room with them, but the system. And y'all want to act like, oh my God, black men are angry. Black folks are angry. I'll find the clip and we'll share it during the after party, patreon.com/like it or not. But yeah, I think if you were I think if most people in this country actually understood that you could be snatched off the streets in your clothes, thrown into these kind of conditions and completely forgotten about because you're a black man, they would have burned this country down a long time ago. Anyway, how y'all doing?
I thought Ben was clapping for himself just now.
No, I had a beat. I had a beat in my head. I had to switch. I switched gears. I got to switch gears quick. I can't stay on stuff long because I get caught up and I end up in jail. That's it. Patreon.com. James, Rebecca, you get the last word. We're getting ready to go to the after party. It's in y'all hands.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. Patreon.com/ like it or not. Is that how you say it? Yeah. Patreon.com / like it or not, you guys. I'm so happy that we were able to be here with you on this morning. But if you want us to continue to stay here with you on every single morning, please, if you're not a patron now, become a patron, please. Because that will secure and solidify our spots here with you every single morning, or my spot will be in a corporate office sitting there Nah,
Say that.
I ain't never going back to the office, but
I ain't never
we'll
going
be
back.
asking and sending emails soon. Okay? So I'm just trying to let y'all know, if I ain't getting paid from them no more, step up your game. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the after party. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Love you.
Every day, I got to prove my love to this damn job. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. If you're not a member already, patreon.com/LikeItOrNot, patreon.com/the BPD show. Go ahead and get on there so you can get access to the after party as well, too. If you're not sliding over there, we will see y'all tomorrow. And if y'all are, we'll see y'all in a few minutes, man. Y'all stay tuned and good morning again. Oh, you know what I didn't do for y'all today? What you did here? I guess I did.
Do you feel me, baby? Look in my eyes, into my heart. I know I'm everything you pray for my love. Been waiting too long to find in the one. I would do everything you ask in my love. Look in my
9 a.m. to 10:30, yeah. Like It or Not is on your channel, yeah.
So I can make sure that the people hear it in public before we go to the after party, y'all. Here y'all goes the Like It or Not remix. We love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.
Queen Azor, get started now, so stick around. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, Rebecca Azor is coming through. You know she got a good story for you. Oh, Benjamin, that's my dog. This is his show. He's a politics pro. I am your DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am. I stay up to the jams. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, like it or not, it's starting now. Like it or not, it's about to go down.
All right, y'all. Patreon.com/LikeItOrNot, patreon.com/the BPD show. Don't forget there is a patron party on Friday. Halloween party. You don't want to miss it. We're gonna be dressed up like all these people being gonna be dressed up like I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna be yet either, but y'all don't want to miss it, man. So go ahead, patreon.com/LikeItOrNot, patreon.com/the BPD show. Y'all get access to the patron party. Don't forget to wear y'all costumes. It's gonna be dope as hell. You don't want to miss it. And if anything, see y'all tomorrow.
Oh yeah, whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going. And if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up. I bet when I land, they gon' tell me it's luck again. See that I'm winning, it's harder to watch. I'm setting the stage, you should give me my props. You ain't got no soul, you lacking the spirit. You talk out your neck, I'ma show you I'm with it. I would really hate for you to sit and watch me win again and win again and win again. I know it's probably getting on me and win a synonym. So if I ever win again, it's no I did the minimum. I didn't have to sell my soul. Oh, yeah. Please don't play no games with me. It was never about the fame to me. They needed the best, so they came to me. Whoa, who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who bring the vibe, say, yeah, that's me. Who make it flip, make it bang, ooh, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's me.
Who make the party feel alive, tell them, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's
y'all
me.
so proud of your boy when they ask, is that your man? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's
and if
me.
I'm taking a shot, I don't miss. Who knew I would be at the top like this? And no one made my goals for me. But I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Cause it's the path that God chose for me. So even if some doors close for me, I still won't let y'all close to me. So please step back where you're supposed to be. Put the game all on hold for me. And sit back, watch me roast the beat. It's in my genes, I'm better than I'm in. I know my flow too sick, I got the medicine. I'm way at the top, who could take my place? I went too hard, can't feel my face. Who the best
in this thing, tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who